Hello everybody, this is Evilgara598 and today I have on the Pokemon trading card online is my Gengar Chandelure deck. So in this deck, it's a psychic deck, um, got some psychic Pokemon in here. And first we're going to start off is Chandelure EX. Now, why is Pokemon such a good Pokemon to play? I am only running one, but for one psychic energy, you can put 4 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon in any way you like. With this deck, it spreads damage counters around like wildfire. And with the Eerie Glow, the defending Pokemon is now burned and confused. And then we have his Gengar EX. Gengar EX is a really nice card in this set, especially from Phantom Forces. With its Night Attack, you can put 3 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. And Dark Corridor, you do 60. And the active Pokemon is now poisoned. And it's just like Donphan, but you're doing poisoning instead. And you get to switch this Pokemon with one of your bench Pokemon. And you can always switch into Wobbuffet. Now, why this card is good to look at is because of its ability. As long as this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, each Pokemon play in each player's hand and each player's discard pile has no abilities except for Psychic Pokemon. Now, that's okay, but if they're running Garbodor, it would still shut down all your Psychic Pokemon abilities. So keep that in mind. Now, with keeping that in mind, we have Psychic Assault. This attack does 10 more damage for each damage counter on your opponent's active Pokemon. So, yeah, you can deal some decent damage, but his ability is pretty nice. We have is Chandelure EX. Chandelure EX is a nice card. It's a perfect candidate to switch in with Dark Corridor. With its ability, Fainting Spell, if this Pokemon is knocked out by damage from an opponent's attack, flip a coin. If heads, the attacking Pokemon is knocked out. So it doesn't matter if it's at full HP or not. If you get heads, it is automatically knocked out. And now, with Chandelure's Curse Drop, you can put 6 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon in any way you like for 1 Psychic and 2 colorless energies. Now, this deck wouldn't be complete without the special Stadium card, which is Dimensional Valley. Each Psychic Pokemon, both yours and opponent's, cost 1 colorless less to attack. So, easier to attack with Dark Corridor and Curse Drop. Now, on top of this, we got the Energy card, Mystery Energy. This can only be attached to a Psychic Pokemon. This card provides Psychic Energy, but only while this card is attached to a Psychic Pokemon. The retreat cost of the Pokemon this card is attached to is two colorless energies less. Okay. And then we have a head ringer in here. You get to attach this to one of your your opponent's EX Pokemon that doesn't already have a tool attached to it, and its attack costs 1 colorless energy more to attack. A really nice tool that was released in Phantom Forces, and it's pretty awesome that you can actually attach it to your opponent's Pokemon and cause them some mischief. Now we're going to want to draw cards faster, so we have Bicycle. I am running 3. This lets you draw until you have 4 cards into your hand. It can help you in tight spots, and if you have this card only in your hand, well, you get to draw a fresh new 4 cards. And then we have Lysander. This lets you switch out one of your opponent's bench Pokemon with the active Pokemon. And then we have the Pokemon Fan Club. Since this deck is mostly basic Pokemon, you get to search your deck up for 2 basic Pokemon, reveal them, and put them into your hand. This will allow you to get Gengar EX out faster, Wobbuffet, your Litwicks, and your Chandelure EXs. And then we have the staples, N, 3 of those, 4 Junipers, 2 colorless, 3 Ultra Balls, 2 Switch, and to make sure that Garbodor doesn't affect your Psychic Pokemon, we have is Startling Megaphone. I do run one in this deck. And Rare Candy. This is just to get out your Chandelures quicker. Enhance Hammers. Now, you don't see this card very often, but this deck comes really handy. This card comes really handy against Donphan decks. And also a mirror deck against this, or any deck that runs special energy cards. And last but not least is Lysander's Trump card. Very awesome card introduced into Phantom Forces. You get to shuffle your entire discard pile back into your deck as well as your opponent besides Lysander's Trump card. So you can only run one. You can run two, but one's actually a pretty good fit. Alright, so we are ready to test this deck out, so let's get to testing it out. Alright, so here's the flip of the coin, and it's heads. Alright, I have no basics, so that's going to be a mulligan. I am playing King Carpy. Oh, get to have to mull again. Wow, third time. Come on now. Well, that's not a good start, but I guess we can start with Litwick. I was hoping for something better, either a Gengar EX or Wobbuffet or Chandelure EX, but hey, at least we don't have to mull again. Oh man. Oh well. Alright, let's wait for my opponent to choose their active Pokemon. So let's hope they choose their Pokemon pretty soon. Alright, so we're gonna choose Litwick to be my Alright, so it looks like I'm gonna go first. We're going to use Ultra Ball for the Enhanced Hammer and get rid of Switch. And we're going to go for the Gengar EX. So we at least have another Pokemon on the bench besides Litwick. I should have kept that Switch. That's okay, I can attack first. Let's use the Pokemon Fan Club. I could have used N or Professor Juniper, but I feel like using Pokemon Fan Club is better for me because it will allow me to get other Pokemon out. Yeah, because it looks like my opponent's going to be probably playing a Fairy deck, and with that Eevee, probably is going to have Sylveon. It's not a big deal. It would have been nice to have the Wobbuffet out so it couldn't get its ability out, but that's okay. And I'm going to go ahead and end my turn. See what we can get next turn. Because we do have the N, the Professor Juniper, and the Lysander. No energy. It's unfortunate that we couldn't get a energy attachment this turn. That's okay. So my opponent is going to attach a Rocky Helmet and play a Sharon. And yep, there we go. It's going to use its ability to get Alright, so my opponent decided to pass the turn, which I don't know why, but that's okay. My opponent, okay, let's see. We're going to play N. Let me draw a fresh new hand of 6. Still no energy. I mean, we got the double colorless energy, so that's not a total bad thing. But I'm going to go ahead and play Dimension Valley. Attach the double colorless energy to... See, here's the thing. It's when you got to make a decision on what you're going to attach your energy to. I could attach it to Litwick, and, that's super unfortunate, honestly. Just in case they get the Dimension Valley out. Oh, man. I'm going to attach it to the Gengar. There's not really much I can do, so I'm just going to pass. It's unfortunate when you don't get a good hand, but sometimes you get those games where just not getting much. That is going to be a knockout, and my opponent is going to use an N. That'll give me a fresh 6. So hopefully we can get some more energy out there. Okay, and that's not bad. Unfortunately, so having 2 rare candies in Chandelure is unfortunate. Okay, nice. That's not going to knock us out. That's awesome. We're going to rare candy into Chandelure. Let's... Actually, we are going to attach the psychic energy to the Wobbuffet. Yeah, I'm going to pass the turn. With my Chandelure, its ability, if it's knocked out, I get to flip a coin. If heads, the defending Pokemon is knocked out. So that's pretty cool effect. And it looks like he's going to play Florges. Really awesome card. Florges gets that's 20 times each fairy and grass Pokemon. So that's pretty cool. Alright, so here goes the Fainting Spell. Up, and we got the Fainting Spell off. That will be a knockout for both of us. Lucky me. Alright. We're gonna get our card. Lysander's trump card. Okay, we don't need to use that. Yeah, let's bring in our Gengar right now. Nice. Definitely a mystery energy is good. Alright. So we could Ultra Ball. I could Lysander's trump card, but I don't want to do that, so I'm gonna go off with the Dark. That allows me to switch and poison my opponent's Pokemon as well. The Sylveon will probably be able... It's going to be able to get an attack off. But I'm not really too worried about that. The only card I'm worried about right now is the Florges, because that can hit pretty well as the Shaman, depending on how much prize cards I take. But my Wobbuffet will be able to knock it out next turn, which is pretty awesome. Alright, so he transferred the Psychic Energy to my Gengar, which is okay. We're going to go ahead and attach this to Wobbuffet and go for the Psychic. That is a knockout, so... The only thing with these knockouts, though, the more prize cards I take, the more my opponent is going to get this Shaman powered up with its Revenge Blast, which can be a very lethal card. But we can get around that. Hopefully we can get a Lysander out to get some damage started on that. But we're going to get some Florges out here. Now, this Florges is going to knock out my Wobbuffet, which is unfortunate. But I do have the Gengar EX sitting on my bench, so I'll be able to poison the Florges EX, which is about all I can do right now. And we do have the Kohler, so I'll be able to Kohler for a pretty good hand. I'm not going to want to use N, because that's going to give me 4, and that's going to give my opponent 4, and that's not something we want to do. We can Ultra Ball, which, you know what, that sounds pretty good idea right now. So we're going to get rid of the N and Rare Candy. And we can... Oh, well, that's unfortunate, too. Wow, it's a bummer. I was hoping for another Wobbuffet. Yeah, I don't need Ultra Ball right now. That's okay. I don't know what you want me to say to that. Wow. Okay, so we got a Muscle Band. So do not fret. So
Oh, my opponent says, really hate Gengar. I mean, Gengar EX is a pretty scary card. So, wow, I've never heard my computer do this before. And yes, I'm saying Gengar right now is an EX. So, wow, see now this is where it can get a little overhand, but that's okay. We're gonna attach the muscle band to Gengar EX. I am gonna go for Colress because I know there's no more basic Pokemon, so Pokemon Fan Club would be really useless at this point. We're gonna attach this to the Chandelure. That will give us the ability to retreat into the Gengar EX, which we're gonna do right now, and go off with the Dark Corridor. We're gonna go with Gengar EX just because my Chandelure is really close to being knocked out, unfortunately. We did get a Mystery Energy and a Litwick. Okay, so there's another basic Pokemon. And my Lysander's trump card is still in there, so we'll be able to shuffle, you know, all this back in. So I'll have Chandelures and Rare Candy. So I'm not really worried about that right now. Chandelure's ability is mainly used for the feigning spell. Okay, so I am asleep. Well, let's see. Let's get this attached onto Gengar. I know Gengar is asleep. We're gonna play Litwick. Oh, see, I don't wanna. I know my Lysander's trump card is not in my discard pile, so I am going to go for this because that will give me the chance to get a switch, escape rope, anything that will help. And he is getting his Shaman powered up, which is not a good thing. And I kind of want to force my opponent to, because right now I'm in a corner. I don't want my Gengar EX to get knocked out. I don't want to give my opponent prize cards. So if I stay on the assault with a good up defense, you know, that's okay. And my opponent asks, are there any stadium cards good for my deck? And yes, there is. It's Fairy Garden. And I don't know why it's doing that, sorry. So he's going to switch into Swirlix, and I am going to switch into my Gengar EX. So yeah, I am powering up his Shaman. He's got 2, so that's okay. And I am going to send my Litwick out. I'm okay with giving up a Litwick instead of an EX. I don't want to further the prizes. And like I said, he's got his Shaman powered up. My opponent says, okay, and thanks. You're welcome. So yeah, there was the big knockout. I knew what was going to happen. But that's okay. We do got the Lysander. So we are golden. I don't even need to attach an energy, honestly. But we're going to do it anyway because I can. We're going to Lysander out. It doesn't really matter what I bring out, but we're going to Lysander out the Leafeon. Guess what, Leafeon? You're getting picked on today. We're going to play the Litwick, just bench it. Don't need a muscle band. So yeah, we're just going to Dark Corridor for the win. Tell my opponent, good game. So it was a pretty good game. So it does 80, and then with the poison, it will knock out. So yep, there you go, guys. That was my Gengar deck. Gengar Chandelure. Perfect combination, and I bet you're going to be seeing this a lot in tournaments right now. I know I versed against one with my fairy deck, and it completely destroyed me. Um, so yeah, our main MVP, most valuable player, was Gengar EX, and our reward was 3 tokens, so we will get 4. Um, yeah. So if you guys would like to be if you guys are interested to be in one of my videos on the Pokemon trading card online, which is free to download, just go to Pokemon.com. But anyway, if you would like to be a star on my channel to be featured in a game, just send me your screen name and I'll add you, and we can play a couple games, or we can. It doesn't matter how many games we play, and if you would like, I can record it and put it on YouTube. Anyway, guys, that is it from me, EvilGara598, signing out.